So welcome fifth grade to the coloring portion of this project. So right now you have 4 pages that look exactly like this. And it's 4 of your cans with the logos on it that you traced with black permanent marker. And so what you're going to do is you're going to start by picking at least 4 colors. Okay, you'll notice I have 5. Now, you could pick 3 and have white be one of your colors to make 4. Okay, there's not a limit after 4, so if you want to do 10, that's fine. But the thing is you have to use those same colors that you choose on your others. Okay, but you're going to put them in different spots. Okay, now before I start that, I'll show you. So this one I've used yellow to do the main part of the can. And you can make these different. So I could have done this section here that has yellow. I could have done that a different color just to make, more contrast. But I didn't. So I did these two the same. So I have to do that with my other colors as well, or my other cans. So you'll notice purple, purple, where I had yellow and yellow. In this one, I only use purple for here and then the pop tab. All right. So you are alternating those same colors that you initially started on your other cans. Okay. So if you choose to do white, that can be one of your colors, but you don't want to end up with a whole white can. So just something to think about. Now, some of you wanted to do one of your cans looking exactly like the real can. Now you can do that, but then make sure that you're using at least 4 colors. Okay, I think the Pepsi only has 3 colors, so you might have to throw in a 4th somehow. All right, but then you have to use those colors differently, those same colors, but differently on the rest of them. Right. So I am not going to make this look like the normal Pepsi can. I do want to look at, right, I've used yellow as the main can, purple, and green. So that means that I'm going to use blue or red for the main can. And I am choosing to do blue. Now I'm using washable markers. You're using whatever markers you have, or you can use colored pencils, but markers are what I would like you to use. And again, you got to provide your own. And then let's say you don't have markers, but you have colored pencils. You can use colored pencils, but I'm really focusing on the direction of your coloring. So I'm going to show you how I want you to color this, and I'm grading you on how well you color. I know that sounds really picky, but it all has to do with fine motor control, which is one of the things that I'm grading you guys on in your report card. So bear with me, okay? And it's one of the things on that rubric initially. So we always want to remember our this part of our hand that we write with. We don't want to drag through a bunch of marker when it's washable. So I start on the opposite side, okay? And what I like to do is I just come down that original shape, okay? And carefully, okay, I turn it because I don't want to put my hand in what I've already done. So I'm starting by just outlining. Okay. Now, all I'm going to do is make a directional line. And the reason being is markers can be really distracting because of all the different directions that you color. That's why we don't usually use markers that often, because students don't understand how direction can take away from the art. So you'll notice I moved over a little bit, and that gives me a white line, and then I can come in and fill that in. So anytime I need to re-straighten that line, it might give me a little space, but I just come up and fill that in. Okay. When you color like this, it actually allows you to use less of the ink that's inside the marker because you're only using what you need to. And when you color really fast and do this, you're actually going over a lot of areas that you've already gone over. So you waste a lot of the marker. Okay. Originally, cans were bent and had little fold marks to make the circle. You could actually fill them way back when. And so these lines actually mimic the shape of that and how they were bent originally. So again, bear with me. Now when I get to like my logo, I outline that as well. And then I would just do shorter lines. So I'm going to stop talking and keep going. Really slow down when you get to the edge. If you go outside of the can, that's like a mega no by 5th grade. So now I can come back in and get any of these little white spots. Now turn it this way. So even though I have my logo here and my words, I still want to try as best as possible to stick to that straight up and down. With the words, outlining it's important. Not forgetting about the inside. And so when we take away that white, notice our letters pop out even more. All right, so for this top part, we have a different direction because we want to show that curve. So for this, notice I'm not going up and down, but now I'm going following that curve, just repeating it to color that part in. Okay, so now I'm done with the blue and I can choose whatever color I want for the letters. Anytime you do yellow, please make sure that if you're using washable markers that you're really careful. Sometimes doing yellow first would be important, depending on the thickness of your outlining. Okay, now I am going to just continue to color this in, and each section that I do here, I'm gonna kind of take my markers that I used and put them in a different spot so that I know, okay, I have, such and such to do. So I'm going to use green here and go around. And if you kind of get the point, the main thing was to show you the directional on any large spaces. If you kind of get the point, then you can pause and look at the photos that are below this video. for the full examples, and then you can get started working. If you want to watch the rest of it, you can. So again, with the yellow, if you're still watching, the yellow, we have to be really careful because if it touches those other colors, touches the red, you know we're going to get orange. And if it touches the blue, we're going to end up with green. And if it touches a secondary color like purple or green or orange, we're going to get brown. So we want to be really careful with that. All right, now we just have purple left. So I'm going to color this space in. Again, outlining first. And then copying that curve. Okay, so that is the end. I'll turn it this way. So again, we have a different look, with each of these all colored in. You will have today and tomorrow and possibly Thursday to complete this. So please take your time. Again, nothing's outside of the lines. Everything's colored in. Direction is what I'm looking for. So take your time, please. Good luck.